All right, we're live. We're not live in the meeting, but we're live on YouTube right now. And I need to pull up my. I don't know. Oh, this guy? Yeah.
Yeah, the doors are unlocked. You unlock both of them.
Oops, I don't need my Gmail. You about ready to? I just haven't got anybody in this year, but
I do not see Betsy in the parking lot. So.
Okay. Well, we have 30 seconds left. 30 seconds.
Where was 6, not standard 7?
I don't know. Hold on. Somebody just joined. Oh, she's in here. I got her. I believe this is her.
Yeah, that's Betsy.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good morning. Excuse me. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Thursday. This is the Thursday, November 12th, 2020, Scarborough Town Council meeting. This is a special virtual hybrid meeting. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to
It is to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic,
a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is the swearing in of the newly elected officials.
Make sure your mic's on. Mine is on. And, oh, thank you. I, and please state your name,
I, John Cloutier,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so long as I shall
so long as I shall
continue a citizen thereof.
continue a citizen thereof.
I, and please state your name,
I, John Cloutier,
do swear
do swear
that I will faithfully discharge,
that I will faithfully discharge
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities
the duties incumbent upon me
the duties incumbent upon me
as a member of the Scarborough Town Council
as a member of the Scarborough Town Council
with the town of Scarborough,
with the town of Scarborough,
according to the Constitution and the laws of the state
according to the Constitution and the laws of the state
and the charter of the town of Scarborough.
and the charter of the town of Scarborough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Katerina was sworn in earlier, as were Leanne Casalonis and Shannon Lindstrom for the Board of Education. The newly elected trustees will be sworn in at a later date. At this time, we're at Order 2101, act on the request for nominations and the election of a new town council chair. Do I have any nominations?
Yes.
Katerina?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Paul Johnson as chair.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Any further nominations? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Can we raise our hand?
Oh, so sorry.
No.
You have to do
It's been a while. Counselor Clucci,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Glystein, Counselor Katerina,
oh, yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
Counselor Hamel,
Don, he left the Zoom meeting, so
Chairman Johnson.
yes.
Okay, that's unanimous. It passes.
Thank you, everybody. Order number 2102 is an act on request for nominations of the election of the new town council vice chair. Counselor Katerina?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Dawn Hamel.
Second it. Sorry, I was trying to get Dawn back in. I've lost Dawn and Betsy in the Zoom meeting, so just bear with me for 1 second. I don't know. Well, I'll open up to a discussion. Anybody want any discussion? Somebody want to say something nice about Don while I try to figure this out?
He's a nice guy.
He's a real nice guy.
Good. Any further discussion? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I didn't say something before about Paul and Don, but, I just like to say that, coming in as a candidate, it was great the support you guys gave to those of us that were running to help get us up to speed. And it was great to see how well you guys communicated with the council, which gives me a lot of confidence. And it's really helped me get up to speed and get started right away. So I really appreciate the leadership that you and Don showed during the campaign, and I look forward to that going forward.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Or Counselor Anderson, excuse me.
Hopefully that bought some time.
Counselor Johnson, do you want to keep your eye on maybe your text messages for Mr. Hamel in case he tries to get in? I guess I'll call the vote because I think he has the votes without himself, so.
Counselor Clucci,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Glystein. Okay, Counselor Katerina,
Yes,
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
and Chairman Johnson.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
this is probably the roughest start we've had since the
yeah,
pandemic.
it is.
Counselor
Miss
Anderson,
Dawn-
welcome to the
Dawn's-
club.
Hey, is this a sign?
Dawn's back.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Hamel, you're the vice chair. All right, with that, Tony, would you like to take roll call?
Yes. Counselor Clucci,
Here.
Counselor Glystein,
Here.
Counselor Anderson,
Here.
Counselor Katerina,
Here.
Counselor Johnson,
Here.
Counselor Hamel,
Here.
and Chairman Johnson.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along, old business is order number 20098. It's an act on the request from the Scarborough School Department to utilize the undeveloped land formerly the water tower property adjacent to the high school for the purpose of constructing a storage facility. And this was tabled from our last meeting. So I believe there'll probably be an update. I don't know if Diane or Kate or Todd wants to lead off for us. If you do, just go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, Todd, I'm bringing you in.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yep, we can. Yep.
After the last meeting, we were asked to consider alternative sites, and we actually had a secondary site specifically listed, and we've submitted that along with a letter requesting permission to use that site, and it's the transportation yard on 56 Manson Libby Road. There's a corner of the lot that is available and would not impede bus traffic in any way. I've consulted with the transportation supervisor about it, and it looks accessible and very usable for this space, and it would not require us to request the use of the water tower site, which had some concerns the last meeting. So we're hoping that with your permission, and if you have considerations or questions, I'm happy to answer them about the spot. I send documents along to our town manager, Mr. Hall, as well as the planning department to show them the location on the site. And I'm hoping that perhaps you may have been able to see that as well. So the need is still the same and the location is different.
Thanks, Todd. Are there any questions for Todd? Or Tom, do you have a copy of the plans he's referencing? Because I don't know if they're in the packet.
I do. I thought they were added to the packet. No? My apologies. I know they were provided to council yesterday.
Yep. I can pull them up my email and share them, but we have them in our.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do have them. Essentially, the building elevations and schematics are the same as you saw before, but there is a new site plan. I beg your pardon. This material was provided to the council yesterday. I apologize for not appearing in the packet. I intended to do that today. What was included here were the same building elevations and building schematics that you saw last meeting that were in the packet. The only difference is a revised site plan indicating the new alternate site that Mr. Jepson advised about just a moment ago.
Thank you. And before we put on the floor, are there any questions for Todd before we discuss amongst ourselves? There's not? Okay. Thank you, Todd. I'll pull you back in if you get dragged in.
Thank you.
With that, can I get a motion?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Discussion? Counselor Johnson?
Just for audit purposes, what do we do with this order number that still calls out the other parcel?
An amendment would be in order.
Yeah.
The reason that a tabling action, you table what was on your agenda previously. So that's why it's in front of you, but you need to amend to reference the alternate site.
Okay. Any more discussion? Counselor Caterina?
Yeah, I just want to thank the school board for moving the location. I know I was the stick in the mud who was not happy with the water tower location. So I appreciate their willingness to consider this.
Thank you. Any others?
Should we try to work through a motion to amend?
Yeah, I think at this point I do need a motion to amend. So Counselor Calucci?
So do you know the address of the Mussey Road? Is it 56?
56 Manson Libby Road.
56 Manson Libby. Okay. So I move to amend order 29-098 to change the location of the storage shed or storage facility from the water tower site on the municipal campus to 56 Manson Libby Road as part of the bus terminal.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
I will second that.
Okay, now we're just talking about the amendment. Any discussions on the amendment? No, so we're going to vote on the amendment only. Tony?
Counselor Calucci?
Yes.
Counselor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Glystein? Counselor Glystein?
Yes.
Counselor Caterina?
Yes.
Counselor Johnson?
Yes.
Counselor Hamel?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion as the main motion as amended? Counselor Calucci?
Sorry. Yeah, this is a seemingly simple agenda item that I think I spent more time on than I can imagine. You found me chasing down grant rules and regulations, different ways to handle things. And so I'm going to, as for the question at hand, yes, I am going to support allowing this shed or storage facility to be built on town land at the bus terminal, but I'm going to throw caution to the wind that I don't know if I would advise it. And this is just me. A lot of times when you try to rush through things, you make decisions out of haste that you look back on a few years later, they're like, geez, I wish I'd have taken a few more minutes with that one. So I know it's a tough call because you have a funding source for a well-documented need. I just, try to make sure you dot all the i's and cross all the t's so that in a couple of years, we're not saying, hey, who the heck put that shed in the middle of our bus terminal. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any others? Tody, would you like to call a vote?
Counselor Clucci,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Glystein,
Yes.
Counselor Katarina,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
Counselor Hamel,
yes,
Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you, it was unanimous.
Okay, on to new business. This is order number 2103. It's an act on the request of the council chair appointments, and this comes from me. Tody, do I have to read every one of these, or can I just reference them?
You could, totally up to you.
Excuse me?
Either way.
No, okay. So I think what I will do for the sake of brevity, I'll read the standing committees, but I'll leave the liaisons for anybody in the public to look up if they want to. So here are the new committees moving forward. The Finance Committee will be chaired by John Clucci, and it will contain John Anderson and Betsy Gleistein. The Communication Committee will be chaired by Ken Johnson, and it will have John Anderson and Jean Marie Caterina. Ordinance Committee will be chaired by Jean Marie Caterina and be contain Don Hamel and Ken Johnson. Appointments and Negotiation Committee will be chaired by Don Hamel with Betsy Gleistein and Ken Johnson. Rules and Policy will be chaired by Betsy Gleistein with John Clucci and John Anderson. And Fair Hearing will be chaired by John Anderson with Don Hamel and Ken Johnson. And I'd just like to thank everybody. I think our objective for doing this a little bit on the early side is there typically tends to be a 1 month, 5 week dark period where not a whole lot gets done. Yeah, and I know Tom's upset, right? But I appreciate everybody here being willing to get behind Don and I's idea of, hey, let's just get this done. I think with Mr. Anderson joining us, I think we have a lot of continuity and just the right amount of fresh perspective. So I think we're all excited and ready to hit the ground running. So
Is that it?
I think I need a second.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? Oh, Councilor Clucci?
Sorry, I just wanted to point out to the public, typically, we elect the chair and then the chair solicits feedback about preferences for committee assignments, and then we appoint them at the next meeting. Given that there was a really strong consensus about Paul or Chairman Johnson continuing on in this role, I think we all collectively felt like it was prudent and worthwhile to condense the timeline. And I know that Mr. Anderson was consulted in terms of what his preferences were, and I certainly was as well. So that's why we're accelerating it. I think we all thought it was the right thing to do at this time.
Thank you. Any more? Okay, seeing none. Tony?
Counselor Clucci,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Glystein, Counselor Katarina,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Counselor Hamel,
yes,
and Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
And finally, it's an order number 2104, which is an act and request for an executive session pursuant to Title I MRSA 4056A regarding review of applications to be considered for 2 ad hoc committees, Charter Review and the Downtown Development Committee. Do I have a motion? Actually, I'll make the motion. And do I have a second?
Second?
Discussion? No, the only thing I'll add is everybody that's virtual, just stand tight. I will be emailing you an individual link to the new meeting. Councilor Glystein?
So I apologize, I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm having to turn one thing off and turn another thing on to talk. But I had hoped to make a couple of motions tonight to consider the size of these 2 ad hoc committees. But I don't read our rules and policies to allow new orders to be added to the agenda. So even with a vote of 5-2, so I guess I wanted to ask if people concur with that reading of our rules and policies, or is this something that I could go ahead and make the motion to add the 2 motions that I wanted to make?
We already have a motion on the floor.
Right, so we could table this. We could table this for a few
You could
minutes.
withdraw your motion,
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion.
withdraw the second as well.
Yeah, I withdraw the second.
And so this is a special so is it different?
Well,
from a special?
Normally, special meetings, you only take items up that are currently on the agenda.
Yeah,
If it were a regular meeting, then you could suspend the rules and add an item. But where this is a special meeting specific to certain items on the agenda. I don't know if Tom
Well,
wants
this
to
is
weigh
in
in.
chapter 302. These are council rules. I think you can, as a body, suspend your own rules.
Yeah.
They're self-imposed, so I think there's procedurally a way to allow this if you wish.
You do have to have a vote of 5 in order to suspend the rules to.
Okay,
add-
so the
add-
first thing I'd have to do is suspend the rules
Correct.
and then go to Betsy to add 2 different items.
And each one would have to be
Okay.
taken out.
Mr. Chair,
Yep,
I'm just, I hate to say I'm a little confused. I mean, I understand the intent, but in order to suspend the rules, would it make sense to hear what Counselor Gleisting is proposing?
Well,
Because
why
I
don't we do this?
have,
Why don't we-
or
why don't
is
we-
that out of order?
let's put suspending the rules on the floor and we will debate this while we're discussing suspending the rules. I think that actually makes the most sense. So I'm going to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay. Second, I'll second it.
Okay, now let's discuss why we're suspending the rules, right? Because now we'll just either shoot down if we're suspending the rule or
Gotcha.
not. So my understanding is Counselor Gleisting has mentioned in public go ahead, Counselor Gleisting, if you would like to say something instead of me, go for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. Again, I'm having really technical issues. So I'm happy to just quickly say what those 2 motions are. Jean Marie, I appreciate your asking. So the first one would be, I would like to make a motion to amend the purpose section, item 1, membership, which currently reads for the Ad hoc Downs District Advisory Committee charge. It currently reads in part, the committee shall be appointed by the town council and shall be comprised of 11 members, only 7 of which are voting members as follows: 7 residents at large. The amendment that I would be proposing is to say the committee shall be appointed by the town council and shall be comprised of 11 to 15 members, only 7 to 11 of which are voting members as follows: 7 to 11 residents at large as determined by the town council, to give the council some flexibility in how many residents are on the committee. And I don't think I really need to read the other one. It's very similar. It's just to expand the membership in a range of members, so that if we come out of the executive session with a few, with maybe different numbers than we thought, then we can actually go ahead and appoint those members. So that's what the 2 motions are in terms of just changing 7 strict to a flex number. That's what they are. And I apologize, but don't speak yet. I got to turn you back up and then I have to mute myself.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Gleising. Does everybody understand? By the way, we're still just discussing the suspend the rules. And if we don't, then I think that assumes we just don't go forward with what Counselor Gleising has suggested. Counselor Katarina and then Counselor Pucci.
Regarding whether we want to suspend the rules or not, I guess, and I have a concern about having flexing in numbers. I'd rather have a specific number. And I don't mind if you want to change 7 residents to 9 residents, that's fine. But I will not support suspending the rules if it's going to be flexing numbers.
All right, so those are, okay, we got to tease that out. Those are 2 different issues, but on to suspending the rules, Counselor Clucci.
Yeah, I guess surprisingly, I'm kind of the rules guy, even though I'm anti-rule most of the time, but I don't think we should suspend rules because we don't have anything that public could have, looked at beforehand and tried to comment on or influence us in any way. What I would suggest, given the nature of what Counselor Gleisting has said her changes were, is there's nothing stopping us from amending 7 to 9 when we actually appoint the committee, which I think would be at our next planned meeting. If it looks like there's a consensus to do that, I would rather go that path than try to lock in on 9. And who knows, maybe we change it again. Maybe after we go through and discuss the applicants, we decide it's only 8, or it could be something different than that. So I would lean towards, let's keep our rules. We don't need to break the rules for this one. Let's talk about the applicants. And if 7 or 8 makes sense, or 9 makes sense, then we have the ability to actually have on our next agenda the charge and the amended charge, or a motion to amend it, along with the names of the people that would be added.
Thank you, Councilor Calucci. Councilor Hamel?
Yes, I think it's an eminently reasonable request that Counselor Gleisteen has made, and a good description of the problem statement and a suggestion for how to handle it by Counselor Calucci. So, I'm in favor of expanding opportunities for people to serve, but I think it'd be most efficient and not as irregular in terms of requiring a rule suspension to follow the path that he has articulated.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of head nodding, so I'm just going to take the vote. So Councilor Tody.
Thank you.
I know. I swear I'm better at this. Tody. Vote to suspend the rules is what we're voting on. Yep.
Counselor Clucci,
No.
Counselor Anderson,
No.
Counselor Gleisteen,
No.
Counselor Katarina,
No.
Counselor Johnson,
No.
Counselor Hamel,
No.
and Chairman Johnson.
No.
Motion fails.
Okay, order number 20-104, act on the request for an executive session pursuant to Title I MRSA 4056A regarding review of the applicants to be considered for the ad hoc committees. And I will put that back on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second?
Discussion? No? Tody?
Counselor Clucci,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Gleisteen, Counselor
Yes.
Katarina,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
Counselor Hamel,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And finally, motion to adjourn, or does that take care of it?
Reset would be into executive
Okay,
session.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, for the three of you in Zoom, I will be sending you a private Zoom link in just a couple seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.